All right, continuing in Job. We're going to start at 24 this time. And I tell you what, reading the Bible every day is a good thing. Normally I would be sitting here drinking beer every day. I don't do that anymore. I sit here and I read the Lord's Word every day. And man, does it make everything different. All right, 24. Why, seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty, do they that know Him not see His days? Some remove the landmark, they violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fatherless, they take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way, the poor of the earth hide themselves together. Behold, as wild asses in the desert go they forth to their work, rising betimes for a prey. The wilderness yieldeth food for them and for their children. They reap every one his corn in the field, and they gather the vintage of the wicked. They cause the naked to lodge without clothing, and they have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountains, and embrace the rock for want of shelter. They pluck the fatherless from the breast, and take a pledge of the poor. They cause him to go naked without clothing, and they take away the sheep from the hungry, which make oil within their walls, and tread their winepresses, and suffer thirst. Men groan from out of the city, and the soul the soul of the wounded cry out, yet God layeth not fully to them. They are of those that rebel against the light. They know not the way thereof, nor abide in the paths thereof. The murderers rising with the light killeth the poor and needy, and in the night is as a thief. The eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me, and disguises his face. In the dark they dig through houses which they had marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not the light. More, for the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. I said that wrong. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. If one knows them, they are in the terror of the shadow of death. He is swift as the waters, their portion is cursed in the earth. He beholdeth not the way of the vineyards. Drought and heat consume the snow water, so does the grave those which have sinned. The womb shall forget him, the worm shall feed sweetly on him, he shall be no more remembered, and wickedness shall be broken as a tree. He evil entreateth the barren that beareth not, and does not good to the widow. He draweth also the mighty with power, he raises up, and no man is sure of life. Though it be given him to be in safety, whereof he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways. They are exalted for a little while, but are gone and brought low. They are taken out of the way as all other, and cut off as the tops of the ears of corn. And if it be so, if it be not so now, who will make me a liar, and make my speech nothing worth? Then answered Bildad the Shushite, and said, dominion and fear are with him. He maketh peace in his high place. Is there any number of his armies, and upon whom does not his light arise? How then can man be justified with God? Or how can he be clean that is born of a woman? Behold, even to the moon, and it shineth not. Yea, the stars are not pure in his sight. How much less man that is a worm, and the Son of Man which is a worm? Then Job answered and said, How hast thou helped him that is without power? How savest thou the arm that has no strength? How hast thou concealed him that has no wisdom? And how hast thou plentifully declared the thing as it is? To whom hast thou uttered words, and whose spirit came from thee? Dead things are formed from under the water, and the inhabitants thereof. Hell is naked before him, and destruction has no covering. He stretches out the north over the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing. He bindeth up the water in his thick clouds, and the clouds is not rent under them. He holdeth back the face of his throne, and spreadeth his cloud upon it. He has compassed the water with bounds, until the day and night come to an end. The pillars of heaven tremble, and are astonished at his reproof. He divideth the sea with his power, and by his understanding he smitteth through the proud. By his spirit he has garnished the heavens. Garnished the heavens. The way my books turn. He has garnished the heavens. His hand has formed the crooked serpent. Look, these are parts of his ways, but how little a portion is heard of them. But the thunder, his power, who can understand? Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, now my camera's messing up. As God liveth, who has taken away my judgment, and the Almighty who has vexed my soul, all the while my breath is in me, and the Spirit of God is in my nostrils, my lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. God forbid that I should justify you till I die. I will not reprove my integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast, and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live. Let my enemies be as the wicked, and he that rises up against me as the unrighteous. For what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he hath gained, when God taketh away his soul? Yeah. Will God hear his cry when trouble comes upon him? Will he delight himself in the Almighty? Will he always call upon God? I will teach you by the hand of God. That which is with the Almighty will I not conceal. Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. Why then are you thus altogether vain? This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. The way these words are together, sometimes you don't even know if you're reading it right. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He opens his eyes, and he is not. Terror takes hold of him as water. A tempest stilleth him away in the night. The east wind carrieth him away, and he departeth, and as a storm hurleth him out of his place. For God shall cast upon him and not spare. He would fain flee out of his hand. Men shall clap their hands at him, and shall hiss him out of his place. Surely there is a vein for the silver, and a place for gold where they find it. Iron is taken out of the earth, and brass is melted out of the stone. He setteth an end to darkness, and searches out all perfection. The stones of darkness and the shadow of death. The flood breaketh out from the inhabitants, even the waters forgotten of the foot. They are dried up, they are gone away from men. As for the earth, out of it cometh bread, and under it is turned up as it were fire. The stones of it are the place of sapphire, and it has dust of gold. There is a path which no fowl knoweth, and which the vulture's eyes have not seen. The lion whelps have not trodden it, nor the fierce lion passed by it. He putteth forth his hand upon the rock. He overturneth the mountains by the roots. He cutteth out rivers among the rocks, and his eye seeth every precious thing. He bindeth the floods from overflowing, and the things that is hid bringeth he forth to light. But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Good question there. Man knoweth not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth said, It is not in me, and the sea said, It is not with me. It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. Hallelujah. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal it, neither shall it be valued with pure gold. Whence then comes wisdom, and where is the place of understanding? Seeing it is hid from the eyes of all living, and kept close from the fowls of the air, destruction and death say, We have heard the fame thereof with our ears. God understandeth the way thereof, and he knoweth the place thereof. For he looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heavens, to make the weight for the wind, and he weigheth the water by measure. When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning of the thunder, then did he see it, and declared it. He prepared it, yea, and searched it out. And unto men he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. Hallelujah. The fear of the Lord that is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. Hallelujah, man. That's my favorite right there. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the day when God preserved me, when his candle shined upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness. As I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were about me, when I washed my steps with butter, and the rock poured me out rivers of oil, when I went out to the gate through the city, when I prepared my seat in the street, the young men saw me and hid themselves, and the aged arose and stood up. The princes refrained talking, and laid their hand on their mouths. The nobles held their peace, and their tongues cleaved to the roof of their mouth. When the ears heard me, then it blessed me, and when the eyes saw me, it gave witness to me, because I delivered the poor that cried, and the fatherless, and hid that and him that had none to help him. The blessed of him that was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. Hallelujah. Put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My judgment was as robe and a diadem. I was I, I was eyes to the blind, and feet was I to the lame. I was a father to the poor, and the cause which I knew not I searched out, and I break the jaw of the wicked and pluck the spoils out of his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the sand. My root was spread out by the waters, and the dew lay all night upon my branches. My glory was fresh in me, and my bow was renewed in my hand. Unto me men gave ear, and waited, and kept silent at my counsel. That'd be nice. After my words they spoke not again, and my speech dropped upon them. And they waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the latter rain. If I laughed on them, they believed it not, and the light of my countenance they cast not down. I chose out their way and sat chief, and dwelt as a king in the army, as one that comforteth the mourners. But now they that are derish, that word, derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now am I their song, yea, I am their byword. They hate me, they flee far from me, and spare not, they spare not to spit in my face. Because he has loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle thereof before me. Upon my right hand rise the youth. They push away my feet, and they rise up against me the way of their destruction. They mar my paths. They set forward my calamity. They have no helper. I think that's sad. They came upon me as a wide breaking in of waters. In the desolation they rolled themselves upon me. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursued my soul as the wind, and my warfare passed away as a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. My bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. By the great force of my disease is my garment changed. By the great force of my disease is my garment changed. It bindeth me about as the collar of my coat. He has cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes. I cry unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Thou art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand thou opposest thyself against me. Thou lift me up to the wind. Thou causest me to ride upon it, and dissolvest my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all living. Howbeit, he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. Did not I weep for him that was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? When I looked for good, then evil came upon me, and when I waited for light, then came darkness. My bowels boiled and rested not. The days of affliction prevented me. I went mourning without the sun. I stood up, and I cried in the congregation. I am a brother to dragons, and a companion to owls. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. My harp also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. I have made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? For what portion of God is there from above? And what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? Is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity? Does not he see my ways and count all my steps? If I have walked with vanity, or in my foot has haste to deceit, let me be weighed in an even balance, that God may know my integrity. If my step has turned out of the way, and my heart walked after mine eyes, and if any blot hath cleaved to my hand, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yea, let my offspring be rooted out. If my heart has been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind upon another, and let another bow down upon her. For this is a heinous crime, yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For it is a fire that consumeth to destruction, and would root out all my increase. If I did despise the cause of my maidservant, or of my maidservant, when they contended with me, what then shall I do when God raises up, and when he visiteth? What shall I answer him? Did not he that made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? If I had withheld the poor from their desire, or have caused the eye of the widow to fail, or have eaten my morsel myself alone, and the fatherless had nothing to eat thereof, for from my youth he was brought up with me as with a father, and I have guided her from my mother's womb. If I have seen any perish for want of clothing, or any poor without covering, and his loins have not if his loins have not blessed me, and if he were not warmed with the fleece of my just a second. Okay, had company there for a second. I'm not sure where I left off, but I'm gonna start at 20 here. If his loins have not blessed me, and if he were not warmed with the fleece of my sheep, if I have lifted up my hand against the fatherless, when I saw my help in the gate, then let my arm fall from my shoulder blade, and my arm be broken from the bone. Wow. For destruction from God was a terror to me, and by reason of his highness I could not endure. Yeah, it is a scary thing. If I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, thou art my confidence, if I rejoiced because my wealth was great, and because my hand had gotten much, if I beheld the sun when it shined, or the moon walking in brightness, and my heart hath been secretly enticed, or my mouth has kissed my hand, this also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge. For I should have denied the God that is above. If I rejoiced at the destruction of him that hates me, or lifted up myself when evils found him, neither have I suffered my soul or my mouth to sin by wishing a curse to his soul. If the men of my tabernacle said not, oh, that we had of his flesh, we cannot be satisfied. The stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my door to the traveler. If I covered my transgressions as Adam, by hiding my iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude, or did the contempt of family terrify me, that I kept silent and went not out of the door? Oh, that one would hear me. Behold, my desire is that the Almighty would answer me, and that my adversaries had written a book. Surely I would take it upon my shoulder, and bind it as a crown to me. I would declare unto him the number of my steps, as a prince would I go near unto him. If my land cries against me, or that the furrows likewise thereof complain, if I have eaten the fruit thereof without money, or have caused the owner thereof to lose their lives, let thistles grow instead of wheat, and cockle instead of barley. The words of Job are ended. Okay, now I think it gets interesting. I think this is when God comes in and starts talking. I'm not sure yet. It's been a while since I read this book. Okay, so these three men ceased to answer Job, because he was righteous in his own eyes. Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, of the kindred of Ram, against Job. Was his wrath kindled, because he justified himself rather than God. Also against his three friends was his wrath kindled, because they had found no answer, and yet had condemned Job. Now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken, because they were elder than he. When Elihu saw that there was no, I don't know if I'm saying his name right either. Elihu. When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, answered and said, I am young, and ye are very old. Wherefore I was afraid, and durst not show you my opinion. I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. Okay, so this ain't God yet. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth him understanding. Great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment. Therefore I said, listen to me, I also will show my opinion. Yeah, sometimes it's better just to keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Alright. Behold, I waited for your words. I gave ear to your reasons, whilst you searched out what to say. Yeah, I attended unto you, and behold, there was none of you that convinced Job, or that answered his words, unless ye should say, we have found out wisdom. God thrusteth him down, not man. Now he hath not directed his words against me, neither will I answer him with your speeches. They were amazed, they answered no more, they left off speaking. When I had waited, for they spoke not, but stood still and answered no more, I said, I will answer also my part, I also will show my opinions. For I am full of matter. He's like, I'm full of words. The spirit within me is constraineth me. Behold, my belly is as wine, which has no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles. I will speak that I may be refreshed. I will open my lips and answer. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto men. For I know not to give flattering titles. In so doing, my Maker would soon take me away. Wherefore, Job, I pray thee, hear my speech, and listen to all my words. Behold, now have I opened my mouth, my tongue has spoken in my mouth. My words shall be of the uprightness of my heart, and my lips shall utter knowledge clearly. The Spirit of God has made me. Wow. The Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty has given me life. If thou canst answer me, set thy word in order before me, stand up. Behold, I am according to thy wish in God's stead. I also am formed out of the clay. Behold, my terror shall not make thee afraid, neither shall my hand too heavy upon thee. Surely thou hast spoken in my hearing, and I have heard the voice of thy word, saying, I am clean without transgression, I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. Behold, he findeth accusation against me, he counteth me for his enemy. He putteth my feet in the stock, he marketh all my paths. Behold, in this thou art not just. I will answer thee that God is greater than man. Why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth no account of any of his matter. For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man, and slumbering upon the bed, then he opens the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. Yeah, been there. That he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from men. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed, in the multitude of his bones with strong pains, so that his life abhorreth bread, and his soul dainty meat. His flesh is consumed away that it cannot be seen, and his bones that were not seen stick out. Yea, his soul draws near unto the grave, and his life to the destroyer. If there be a messenger with him, an interpreter, one among 1,000, to show unto men his uprightness, then he is gracious unto him, and says, Deliver him from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth. He shall pray unto God, and he will be favorable unto him. And he shall see his face with joy, for he will render unto man his righteousness. He looketh upon man, and if any say, I have sinned, and pervert that which was right, and it profited me nothing, he will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see light. Look, all these things worketh God oftentimes with men, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. Mark well, O Job, listen unto me. Hold thy peace, and I will speak. If thou hast anything to say, answer me, speak, for I desire to justify thee. If not, listen unto me. Hold thy peace, and I shall teach thee wisdom. Never good to say that, is it? Furthermore, Elihu answered and said, Hear my word, O you wise men, and give ear unto me, ye that have knowledge. For the ear tries words as the mouth tastes meat. Let us choose to us judgment. Let us know among ourselves what is good. For Job has said, I am righteous, and God has taken away my judgment. Should I lie against my right? My wound is incurable without transgression. What man is like Job, who drinketh up scorning like water, which goeth in company with the workers of iniquity, and walketh with wicked men? Wow, this guy, I don't know. For he has said, it profiteth a man nothing that he should delight himself with God. Therefore, listen to me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. For the work of man shall he render unto him. For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. Yea, surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. Who has given him a charge over the earth, or who has disposed the whole world. If he set his heart upon man, if he gathers unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again unto dust. If now that thou hast understanding, hear this, listen to the voice of my words. Shall even he that hateth right govern? And wilt thou condemn him that is most just? Is it fit to say to a king, Thou art wicked, and to a prince, You are ungodly? How much less to him that accepteth not the persons of princes, nor regardeth the rich more than the poor? For they all are the work of his hands. In a moment shall they die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight, and pass away, and the mighty shall be taken away without hand. For his eyes are upon the way of man, and he sees all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. For he will not lay upon man more than right, that he should enter into judgment with God. He shall break in pieces mighty men without number, and set others in their stead. Therefore he knoweth their work, and he overturneth them in the night, so that they are destroyed. He striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others. My phone's about to give up, so I'm about to quit here in a minute. Because they turned back from him and would not consider any of his ways, so that they caused the cry of the poor to come unto him, and he heareth the cry of the afflicted. When he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a man only, that the hypocrite reign not, lest the people be ensnared. Surely it is meet to be said unto God, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend any more. That which I see not teach thou me. If I had done iniquity, I will do no more. Should it be according to thy mind, he will recompense it, whether thou refuse or whether thou choose, and not I. Therefore speak what thou knowest. Let men of understanding tell me, and let a wise man listen to me. Job has spoken without knowledge, and his words were without wisdom. My desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answer for wicked men. Jeez. For he addeth rebellion unto his sin. He clappeth his hands among us, and multiplieth his words against God. Alright, 35. I'm going to quit right there. How long is this book? Okay, I'm at 35, and it's got 41. So tomorrow I should be able to finish this. But anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy reading it to you. And my wish for everybody is that you get into the Word and read it yourself. It will make you smart and wise. It'll make you a good reader. It does a lot of things for you. You'll get to know your Father. But yeah, God bless you. And if the Lord will let me, you'll hear from me again tomorrow. Later.